Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Things to eat. The popcorn can't be beat.
Hi again, it's I, Mr. Cinema Junkie, back with the Alphabet of Awesome Movie selection for the letter N. And who didn't see this one coming? You know, I just got finished talking about one of my favorite slasher movies of the 80s, so it had to come to this. It really did. And sadly, I'm not a fan of the series. I do think this is an awesome movie. I do think it's an incredible movie. But the series that followed kind of failed me. Maybe now that I'm older, maybe I won't expect as much. Maybe my expectations will be lowered a little bit. Maybe I can enjoy it for what it is. But for me, just didn't fit the bill. But this first movie, incredible. I thought it was absolutely awesome. And of course, that movie is Nightmare on Elm Street. Now, some people might argue there's an A at the beginning, so it's an A title. No. This would go at the very end with a little comma. Nightmare on Elm Street, comma, A. Okay, I worked in a video store. I know these things. But this was our introduction to Freddy Krueger. He is, without a doubt, a slasher film horror icon. Jason, Michael Myers, Leatherface, Freddy Krueger. Like I said, the series kind of developed him into a character that I didn't care for too much. Tried to be too funny and clever. Kind of like Arnold Schwarzenegger. A lot better when he didn't talk too much. But who can deny the terror that you felt back then with this guy invading your dreams, you know? Jason was in the woods. You don't have to go camping. Leatherface was in Texas. You don't have to go there either. Freddy was in your dreams. You have to go to sleep sometime. So if you were in line for his revenge, you were going to catch it somewhere down the line. It also introduced a few talents that are staples in movies today, like Johnny Depp. I believe back then his only big claim to fame was 21 Jump Street, if anybody remembers that show. But look at him now. But yes, it's basically the story of a child killer who is murdered or killed by a mob of vigilante parents, and they burn him alive, they kill him, and he comes back to exact revenge through the children of those parents. Excuse me. Yeah, his weapon of choice is, of course, the knifed glove, which he used to kill many children, and his face carries the scars of being burned. When I first saw this movie, I saw some elements of an earlier movie. It put me in the mind of Phantasm. Now, I know I've mentioned that movie quite a bit, but it does. I mean, it has to deal with dreamscapes. It has to deal with, being able to get into your dreams and attack you through there. There were little things about it, and some similarities too. One of the scenes in Nightmare on Elm Street shows the mom being pulled through the window of the door of the house. In Phantasm, it shows the kid being pulled through the door of the closet. So it kind of put me in that mind. I don't know if anybody else feels that way about it, but I do. Robert Englund was interviewed one time, and he talked about how surprised he was at the success of Freddy Krueger. And I'm a little surprised at the success of Freddy Krueger because it seems like he kind of overshadows a lot of the horror icons. Leatherface and Jason are like two of my favorites. Freddy ranks way down here somewhere. If there's 4 horror movie action figures, and it's Leatherface, Jason, Michael Myers, and Freddy Krueger, and I've got money for only 3 of them, Freddy's staying there. I'm not getting him. So I don't know what it is. I'm not, just something about him just doesn't click with me like it does with other people. But it cannot be denied that A Nightmare on Elm Street earns its spot in horror movie history, and also Freddy Krueger as an icon earns his spot as well. Now, also this also spawned a remake, and from what I've been hearing, the jury is in, and it was not up to par. It was it was very weak. It was very very, I don't know. As some remakes will do, they kind of water down the story a little bit, I guess. It seemed to me like they kept on line with the original story. It was a child molesting murderer, and he was killed by parents, and then he comes back and exacts revenge. It sounds pretty much the same, but for some reason people just did not get into it, and they didn't like the new Freddy Krueger. And I have yet to see it. I don't know. Maybe I'll watch it one of these days. If it winds up on the instant streaming from Netflix, maybe I'll watch it then. But I'm really not going out of my way to see it. But as far as the original goes, it's a definite must-have in any horror fan's collection. At least I think so. And that's why I own it. So for the end selections of the alphabet of awesome movies, I select A Nightmare on Elm Street. Thanks, everybody. It's been fun.